I'm excited to be here with you to share this profound topic. To what degree do you realize that there's a seed of greatness within you, that you're built for something more, for growth, for expansion, for impact, for influence, and for more income as well? So do you realize that? To what degree do you realize that? If you didn't know, I was talking about purpose, and I said that this is a fundamental principle for one's life. And so anytime we build a physical building, we're going to build a solid foundation, aren't we? And so similarly, you want to build a solid foundation for your life. If we're not clearing what our purpose is, then we could be putting our ladder up on the wrong building. Has anyone ever done that? You know someone who's done that for maybe 30 years of their career? Their ladder's on the wrong building. So in many ways it can be costly for one's life. And if we are children of God, we believe in God, and God creates everything for a purpose, I also believe that we're responsible for knowing and acting upon our God-given purpose and fulfilling that to a greatest degree. I truly believe there's power there, and just like Gandhi says, that it's the most powerful motivator in the world. Close your eyes for a moment. Would you do that? And just recall a time when you were loving what you were doing, you were following your heart, you were passionate, you were serving, you felt on top of the world. And maybe you were serving an individual or a group of people or an important cause. Just relive that experience for a few moments. Just the emotions that you were experiencing, the state that you were in. Okay, great. With the eyes open again. Whenever you have followed your heart, has your experience it's typically been the best decision? In fact, there's a lot of research being done about the power of following your heart. There's a lot of wisdom in one's heart. Robin Sharma says that there's no greater purpose in life than to know your life purpose, and that passion and purpose enables your personal power, and to give you an opportunity to really start living more and more fully on purpose. So here I am. I've had my own corporate training business for 22 years and working with 22,000 people. I'm loving it. I'm on purpose. Working with a couple thousand employees, leaders every year, six-figure income, until the 2008-2009 Great Recession. And for my corporate clients, typically they spend $0 on speakers and trainers. So here I am working extremely hard, the hardest I've ever worked for an entire year, and I have zero income. I rack up $50,000 in credit card debt. I become hopeless. I become cynical. I'm financially distressed. Thank God I came out of that, and I followed my heart. I followed my heart in that situation, which got me out of that. And when I went to talk to my best friend, Norm, great man. Think about your best friend. My best friend, he says, Gary, you should consider transferring your skill set from what you've been doing, corporate training, selling and delivering corporate training, thousands of people, transfer that skill set to fundraising for a worthy charity. The idea resonated in my heart. I fell in love with this idea, and I didn't even know anything about it. But here I am, my heart is full of love for this idea. And so I did, and I got part-time work. I loved it. I experienced rapid success. It got me thinking about the power of following one's heart. It doesn't mean doing it irresponsibly. It means doing it, with intelligence. And there's wisdom in your heart. There's more intelligence in your heart than there is in your head, right? When we tap into our heart, we're talking about your soul, your unconscious, your intuition, which has your higher self, the Holy Spirit and God, in contrast to just your mind and your own intellect and your own limited experience. There's actually more wisdom in our heart. And so the more and more that we can tap into our heart, the better it is.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. And don't settle.
So what is your heart pulling you towards? Is there a tugging, a pulling on your heart? I know that's how I experience it. It's a pulling, it's a tugging. You have a burden or a care for, like a big cause, or it could be just the idea that you want to love on people or help them grow and be transformed in some way. So what do you really want? When our life is over, right? We don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point we're going to be on our deathbed. So because I'm doing this purpose work and the research I did, I discovered, well, there's a connection between passion, purpose, and performance. They're all connected. And that when we are on, and furthermore, that our greatest passion is our current purpose, And when we are in our current purpose, we are high performing. And so I want to share with you, I was super excited when I first saw this research, which really proves what we're talking about here and proves what you've been experiencing. The research was done by a number of the large multinational consulting firms globally, and it was pulled together on this website you'll see here. And these are all the positive benefits of in your life for a purpose-driven individual. So increased levels of leadership, income, wealth, and love, freedom. I mean, we all want more of that, don't we? Absolutely. 4 times more engaged and 5 times more productive. I think that's massive, right? So here's proof. This is proof saying that when we're on purpose, we are high performing. Better mental health, 42% greater certainty, reduction of fear and anxiety, 540% greater resiliency and persistence. You spoke about resiliency. I mean, we need resiliency these days, don't we? So as such then, purpose-driven companies, 4 times higher annual growth rate for purpose-driven companies, and 330% increased organizational commitment and employee engagement, and 43% higher levels of retention. All has a positive impact on your top line and your bottom line. Who's maybe thinking, well, hey, I want more of these benefits in my life or my business. Or you might be thinking, well, I'm not really sure what my purpose is, or do I really have a purpose? I'm not really sure. To what degree do you really feel that you have a purpose? I know for me, I'm really clear that my purpose and my vision is to help inspire 100,000 people to discover their God-given purpose so they can show up with their gifts and their talents and their strengths and serve the world. And yes, be high performing, be greatly fulfilled, and have great income. And so I believe that's part of our responsibility. We can show up on purpose and do our part to better serve the world. Purpose is like a magnifying glass. And we're going to take the sun's rays, we're going to harness the sun's rays energy through this magnifying glass and really focus all these light rays, just like a laser beam. And there's power there, isn't there? We know there's power in a laser beam. It can burn through obstacles. And our purpose is exactly the same. Right? It gives us focus, gives us clarity, and gives us power. And I believe largely that we're going to be either one of 2 places as extremes. We're either going to be in a place of regret and sorrow and frustration and sadness because we didn't live fully on purpose, or we didn't serve, or we didn't fulfill the reason why we were actually born. The other end of the spectrum is what? It's the opposite, isn't it? It's in a place of fulfillment and acceptance, and maybe even joy, because you did know and act upon your God-given purpose. You did the best you could. Which end of that spectrum do you want to be at? And we can make a decision in advance to do that. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. We're just going to do a very short visualization exercise, which you see a line in the sand here. Just close your eyes. It's going to be a very short closed-eye visualization. Visualize yourself on a sand beach. The sand's probably a bit warm under your feet. And you take your hand and just visualize you're making this line in the sand right in front of your toes. Put that line in the sand. Visualize that. And on this side of the line is your current reality, whatever you're doing with your current level of purpose and clarity and action there on your current life. And on the other side of the line, into the future, represents for you, and begin to see it or feel it or hear it. This is you in the future, the near future, living fully on purpose. Just loving it and having fulfillment and joy and success and impacting people's lives. You're doing that, or at least you're seeing people's reactions maybe, the spark in their eye, the smile on their face, and you're feeling on top of the world. In a moment, if you're able to actually physically step forward, because as you either visually in your mind or physically step forward, this is representing your commitment to yourself, an internal commitment to get more serious about your purpose and to take more action on it. So on the count of 3, you're going to step over the line and visualize that as well. So into your new future on purpose, 1, 2, 3, and step. Just celebrate that for a moment. So you made an internal commitment to living more and more on purpose. So fantastic. Everyone open their eyes. So congratulations. Good stuff. May I share with you a proven process? And we talked a bit about the heart, and I believe that our purpose is like buried treasure in our heart, in our soul, our unconscious. And therefore, if we can tap into that, which we can, then we can discover truly what is our God-given purpose. I'm believing that God puts His purpose in our heart, our soul, our unconscious, and gives us a desire to discover it. Passion is a key. And so, our greatest passions in our life, when we look at our life history, so when you look back at your life and do some inventory, do some inventory what your greatest passion is currently, so that's an indicator, right, of what your purpose, your current purpose is. And remember, your greatest passion is often your current purpose. When we look at our strengths, our talents, our giftings, and also looking back at our life and so on, as well as, our values, doing an assessment about our values, what's important to us. What are we deeply concerned about? And when you fill all this in, and you see what the themes are there, and the crossover of those themes, the center of the Venn diagram really indicates, strong indication for your purpose. Vision just changes everything. When people have visions, and many cultures really appreciate the power and value of vision. And I like what the Bible says here in Proverbs 29:18, when there's no vision, the people will perish. And we've seen that in our life or other people's lives, right? When they're stuck. With the clearer your vision and your purpose, the greater your life and your business will be. So vision, and so that the challenge is usually this. Our ego is designed to protect us, and it may not want you to discover your purpose. And so it puts up blocks, literally puts up blocks. And to get around the blockages of our ego, our patterns, our belief system, it's all the same thing, is that one great way to do that is to actually tap into our heart and our soul, is through closed-eye visualization, through imaginative journaling prayer, where we can get around the blockages of the ego and we can tap right into our soul. And when we put all this together and we have a purpose statement, then you will be, in terms of fulfillment, you will be fulfilled when you're acting on your purpose. You'll be high performing and you'll make great contributions. So this is what you could expect if you go through this process. The three key areas that you'll get clarity on, your greatest passion, your compelling vision, and your inspiring purpose, and the statement thereof. And so this is a 6-week of a live virtual facilitated workshop with Arif and myself as the facilitators, and you get your whole learning manual as well that will enable you to, in 6 weeks. And I think of Ryan came into our program in the fall. He was a CEO. He was just laid off because of the pandemic. He came in with a clarity level of 5 out of 10. He left in December with a clarity level of 10 out of 10. He was super excited. He was going to start doing executive coaching, use his life experience and so on. And I just spoke to him last week. And in the first 90 days of his brand new executive coaching business, he has 8 clients, 8 executive clients. So this works when people work the process. Yep, okay, good. And so fulfillment, love, peace, joy, all like the things I experience and that you can also experience, and increased performance and results. Like it could be $100 a week, it could be $5,000 a month, whatever kind of business you're in, and experience the power of potentially reinventing yourself and your business. And so let me just wrap up here with showing you what it includes, what the value is. 6 weeks, a facilitated workshop, your 40-page participant manual, your self-discovery exercises, which are in the manual, which are so powerful, and the journaling, prayers, and visualizations. Also, great revelation comes from that. Support, coaching, and so on, and an orientation session for me to get you kicked off and get you fast started. And so that's for a value of $2,317. We're not going to charge you that. What would you be willing to invest in a program that would give you clarity on your life purpose? So the regular price is $797, as you see here, but for tonight, because of this special event, we're providing a special event price of only $597 Canadian. And for tonight, for the first 12 people, special fast action bonus for the best value for the $597. You will also receive, when you register, join us tonight, Arif's and my 2 books. You've already seen his book. Here's my book here as well. Powerful for raising your level of belief and faith through personal stories. I've interviewed all these 25 people and so on, as well as a week of prayer from me. There's power in prayer. That's been my experience, lots of answered prayers, and again, another hour of application coaching. So additional value, $391, all for only $597, plus good old HST. And so as I conclude here, so please ask you to follow your heart on this. And again, we know there's the intelligence of the heart, and the wisdom and the best decisions come from our heart.